So if you're one of those people that get triggered over the topic of LiveScope and whether or not it should be allowed or not, this is your warning to stop watching this video right now and go back to assessing what personal pronouns you prefer to be referred to as. So turn off this video, stop watching. For the rest of you though, let's discuss this topic. So let's dive into this topic of forward-facing sonar. But before we do, I want to show you this clip of Bassmaster Live coverage. This is day 4.
What Robert G is doing, he's been a great one to manage as we bring it into the Bassmaster Studios. I'm at the Dakota Lithium Screen and Knowledge, and the one deal that Robert G is doing, he's been very successful with it. We just saw his latest cull, that big upgrade for him, and I wanted to go through and show maybe play by play a little bit of what we're dealing with here. So I'm going to try to pause it and keep showing it, but about 25 feet away from the boat, about 30 feet down is where this first fish is.
So guys, I'm going to go ahead and mute the audio right now just so that we can kind of break down what we're watching here. Essentially, we are watching on a screen another guy who is watching on a screen, a third guy who is watching a screen of bass, and he's utilizing that screen as like a first-person shooter game to catch that bass. So again, you're watching a screen of another screen. And I don't think that's really what we tune in for when we go to watch fishing on TV. I think most of us got into the sport of bass fishing because of the excitement of that bite. You didn't know when it was coming, but when it did, it made your heart jump. And that fight, figuring out how big that fish is, all of that, the mystery of it, and the surprise is part of the allure. And we've taken away a lot of that with live scoping. We see the bites coming, we see the fish, we know the size, and especially at the elite level, you know, when we're watching this on TV, is this how we want to digest our fishing media? Is this what it's going to be? And if it is, I'm sure there's going to be new fans of it. I'm sure that the kids that grew up going to the Twitch platform, and for those that don't know what the Twitch platform is, the Twitch platform is where kids watch other kids play video games. It's essentially what the Bassmaster Elite Series live coverage has become. I'm sure that's going to introduce a lot of new people to the sport, but the people that truly love the outdoors and the people that love the allure of and that feeling of the bite, that surprise, when you flip a jig into a bush and you're working it through that bush, that sudden donk of that bite, you're going to lose a lot of those people. Now, I understand that live scoping is here to stay, but again, is this how we want to digest our media when it comes to bass fishing? And shouldn't the Elite Series anglers be held to a higher standard than amateur anglers? My opinion is yes. I mean, listen, Bassmaster was quick to take away the A-rig when they decided that the A-rig was going to change fishing forever, and they believed every fishing tournament was going to be won on the A-rig. So it was quickly banned at the elite level. And I do think that we're at a point in the game where forward-facing sonar needs to be looked at to determine whether or not it should be allowed at the elite level. So take qualification for the Bassmaster Elite Series out of it and assume that forward-facing sonar was allowed in the opens, but wasn't allowed in the Elite Series. Would these rookies that made it to the top 10, would they have finished as well without the forward-facing sonar? And would they continue to be able to have a career at the elite level without forward-facing sonar? I think there's a handful of them that definitely have no talent outside of forward-facing sonar, and that they wouldn't make it. They would quickly be relegated to the amateur ranks. And that's because they just don't have the talent of the Jordan Lees, the Christies, the Hackneys, the Jacob Wheelers, if you will. I know he's not a Bassmaster Elite Pro, but he's certainly an angler that technically has all the skills that make a professional. So what should Bassmaster do? Should they ban it from all tournaments altogether at the elite level? Is there a compromise that can take place? Should they say no forward-facing sonar on a majority of the tournaments? Maybe have a handful of them where they allow forward-facing sonar and then some where they don't. There's definitely compromises to be made. I would love to hear your opinion on what those are. Or should it be banned altogether, or should they not ban it? Is this what you want to see from fishing tournaments in the future? Feel free to comment below, guys. Definitely appreciate all the feedback, and let's make this a healthy discussion and not a volatile one. This isn't politics. This is just fishing. So let's talk about it.